With fatty in the pond, it's hard for me to get a really good look at that lump. My worry is that it is cancer. It might seem like it's a bit over the top to operate on a goldfish, but why is fatty any different to a dog or a cat or a pet bird?
We love him, he's part of our family.
So he's going to be quite a difficult removal.
It could get nasty quickly.
The locals around here seem to love to give me tip-offs about animals, but now they're insisting I check out a restaurant. Apparently the fish there is amazing.
Hey, how you going?
Good, how are you?
Good. Just wanted a table. Everyone's telling me to come here for the fish.
Yep.
What's the fish that everyone wants me to try? Is that on your menu?
No. I think he may have been stitched up here. Come on over. His name's Fatso. We call him Fatty.
Turns out Chris has been lured here for yet another patient. Fatty is the famous pet of restaurant owner Mia.
I'm pleased that you're here, actually.
I'm here for a meal.
Hey, you can have a meal. Don't worry about that. The thing is, he's just had this little growth on his head. It's been on his head for, getting on to a couple of weeks now.
It looks big. I mean, it's certainly sticking out the top of his head quite a bit, and it's in a very sensitive area between his eyes there. So it would be at the stage now where you'd think it'd have to be worrying him.
With fatty in the pond, it's hard for me to get a really good look at that lump, but going how quickly it's grown, my worry is that it is cancer.
It's getting to the stage where it's going to be growing into his brain or into his eyes. And then it gets really nasty, and that's what worries me. I mean, we have two options here. We can sit back and just let Fatty live his life, but it's growing quickly. Unless it's removed, it's going to really start playing havoc with him pretty soon.
Yeah. It's definitely a worry because, I mean, it's so big. It must hurt. I'm hoping that it's easy fix.
If there is something that can be done, and don't laugh, with surgery...
Surgery on a fish?
Yeah.
You're kidding me, right?
No, I'm serious. It is done. Not that often, but it is done, and that, to me, may be his only option.
It might seem like it's a bit over the top and overly dramatic to operate on a goldfish, but why is Fatty any different to a dog or a cat or a pet bird?
The kids love him, and we love him. He's part of our family.
He's some sort of local identity, is he?
Yeah, actually, a regular gave him to us because he outgrew their pond, and we've had him for 2 years since we've been open.
He has family, he has friends, he has fans, and he has feelings. So if there is an opportunity to operate on him, I'm going to take it.
I'm in the process of writing a book about Fatty, so I'd like to just get it fixed and hopefully have an ending to a story. Nice ending.
You're making it easy.
No, I'm not making it easy.
And of course, the final chapter, it's not written. The final chapter, it gets written based on what happens. It's a lot of pressure.
I mean, we have to anaesthetise him in a totally different way to how we do every other animal, so it'll be tough, but I'm hopeful.
Got the right man on the job.
Well, let's hope you mean that.
If this doesn't go exactly to plan, then things could literally go belly up very quickly. Doug.
Wow, Chris.
How are you?
What have you got there, mate?
It's good to see you, mate.
Oh, look at that. That's a big lump for a little fish, isn't it? Come on, we'll see what we can do.
Righto, mate.
In Cairns, Chris and his tiny patient Fatty have arrived at the Marlin Coast Veterinary Hospital.
You can see it. It's a pretty decent lump. It really jumps off the top of his head there. It's almost got two parts too, that bigger part over to one side, and then just towards the front there's another small little lump there.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult to get out.
Yeah. He just doesn't have a lot of skin to play with on that forehead of his. That's what worries me.
Dr. Doug English will be assisting Chris with the delicate procedure.
The lump's got to come off. Hopefully the fish will be tough enough to withstand that surgery, but otherwise he's going to die. That's a big lump, and if it's growing rapidly, it's some sort of a cancer for sure.
Adding to the pressure, this is the first operation Chris has ever performed on a fish.
Fatty has to be incredibly tough to get through this because this is way out of his comfort zone. It's just a massive, massive ask for him to get through this.
So my worry is that if things don't go to plan here, it could get nasty quickly.
Based on how much water is in this tank, we work out the dosage of the anaesthetic. and then it goes into the tank and hopefully swells around, and in that time, it absorbs it through his gills. Here we go, fatty. All right, buddy, have a good sleep. You see already he's started to slow down in there? Yeah, he's ready. All right.
It doesn't get any more foreign for a fish than being out of water. So the fact is I had to be quick and precise and get this operation done as soon as I can.
I'm ready, so I'll get him out and then we'll get going.
To keep the little fish alive, oxygen will need to be constantly pumped through his gills.
Doug's job is as important as mine, because that is to make sure that Fatty's gills are oxygenated and also that he gets the anaesthetic drug through his system at all times. If Fatty's oxygen levels fall too far, then he won't make it through.
We need as much water over the gills as possible.
I'm just trying to cut as close to the edge of the lump as possible because we just don't have anything to play with. There's no spare skin really to get this back together, so this is going to be quite a difficult removal.
As if operating on a patient as tiny as Fatso isn't hard enough, he flies off the table and my heart nearly stops. We now have to get him back into that water as soon as we can.
Okay, that's out. Yeah, so that's it there. It's a decent lump.
When I get the lump off, it's firm, there's no pus inside it. I've got no doubt that this is a tumour. But I've managed to get a good margin around the outside, and the fact there's bone underneath means it's unlikely to have spread. What I do know, though, is that if it wasn't removed, it would have killed him.
Can we just avoid the wound for just a second? I'll put some super glue on.
Now the lump is off, Chris will seal the lesion with super glue.
He's been left with a pretty big wound on his head, so it's a lot for him to get through. Doug's doing a great job of flushing those gills with the water that contains the oxygen as well as the anaesthetic drug, but still, Fatty just doesn't look right. His eyes are starting to roll a bit.
It's a bit of a worry, eh? Because he looks dead.
Fatso's now been out of the water for 15 minutes and his body clearly isn't getting the oxygen it really needs. We have to get him back in the water right now if he's to be any chance.
Just give him...
In here.
There's just no movement at the moment. I don't actually know if he's alive right now. Come on, Fatty. I mean, normally he flaps his own gills around as a way of getting that oxygen in, but I'm trying to do it a bit for him now.
I'm just worried that Fatso's been out of the water for too long. Right now, it's not looking good.
There's no way he couldn't have gone into some sort of oxygen debt there. Come on, Fatty. Come on. There you go, a bit of movement.
Yeah.
At last, Fatty gives Chris the sign he's been waiting for.
So he's starting to really gasp in and try to get some extra water into his gills. So he's coming around. Wow.
Need a drink after this.
I think I'm okay. It was a very stressful few minutes getting that done, and Fatty is now swimming around, and that is a big relief. It's looking good now, isn't he?
Yeah, thank goodness.
I think he's going to make it through.
We did well.
And best of all, you can still eat at that restaurant.
Yeah, thank goodness. I love that restaurant.
All I want to do is get Fatty back to the restaurant as quickly as I can so I can relax and Fatty can see Mia. Mate, thank you. Great work. Oh, let's get you home, huh? Did someone order some fish?
How'd you go?
A very special fish?
Oh my God!
Look at him.
His lump's off.
I know. He looks great. He looks amazing.
Oh, Fatty. Oh, that's great. He's only a goldfish, but, you know, he's part of the family, so, yeah, Chris has done a great job. Very happy. Thank you so much.
So excited. I love it. I'm so excited.
This is the first operation you've done on a fish too, yeah? Or is it not?
Who told you that? Yes, it is, all right?
Well done.
And it went okay.
Yay!
That was hands down one of the best reactions I've ever had to any patient coming home, and it's almost as if she didn't quite expect him to come home. And look, I don't want to put words into your mouth. The final chapter of this book sort of writes itself. Just be kind, all right?
It's a happy ending. Thanks, Chris.
It
That's
is.
so awesome.
I gotta say, when I first walked in here and was told about how amazing Fatty is, I thought, you know what? He's probably special, but after spending a few hours with him, I get it. Fatty's a big deal.
It deserves to be. Thank you.
Go.
Cheers, Fatty.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kate, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the Bondi Vet YouTube channel. Click on the screen for more great content. And for free, exclusive, never seen before Bondi Vet stories, you can sign up to bondipet.com, and you can do so via the link in the description.